never get free. Lamb to the slaughter, what you gon' do when there's blood in the water? The price of your greed is your son and your daughter. What you gon' do when there's blood in the water? Look me in my eyes.
Hello guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now this is part one of What If Deku was a shadow dragon. It got, a really good reception, so, let's, pop another video. I was thinking of an idea when I was releasing it. So, over the centuries, the locket has been, moved around from the members of, the members of the Rosefields, as down the centuries, the story of what they were supposed to do with the locket kind of faded out in history. So as some members, like to do is hawk things for money. So they kind of hawked it for some money at a pawn shop, but we're gonna go back a little bit to to Inca, a little bit. So get the backstory on her a little bit. As we cut to her, as they see they're in they're around in maybe third grade, as a couple girls are picking on Misky, as they're calling her weak. Her quirk is nothing, nice glycerin. What you do is that. It's so stupid. It's sounds dangerous, but it's stupid. It's just like they're pulling on her hair, as suddenly all Misky sees is a young girl, all around her age, with long green hair, with green eyes, as she punches the one girl in the face. She doesn't say anything, as she's smiling as she's fighting them. As the teachers like pull them away from Izuku, as not Izuku, but as Inka. And I'm saying she's already Izuku Midoriya. Sashi is not the he's not in this story, so she has the family name just because to make things easier. That's her family name, so and she's the reincarnation of Izuku's mother, as she has the dragonkin blood throughout her family line, because of Bahamid's mother sister that married a human. They this they what are it called? How to say this without let's see, they passed on the offsprings, so that's how I'm doing that. So that's how current Inko is, how this would work. What I have idea for this. So as they start yelling at Inko. Inko's yawning like she doesn't care, and Inko picks up puts her hand out to help Misky up, and she's like, "You alright?" As she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Those those punks usually do that. As she talks a little bit like Bakugo, because he gets attitude from her. As she's like, "You throw a hell of a punch." As that's what I saw. As Inko's like, "Why didn't you fight back?" And she's like, I promised my mom I wouldn't fight as much." As we skipped to several years. They went to school. As you see, a current age, they're in high school. as they're fighting a couple of, couple of punks that try to, get fresh rays on Inko. As, Inko just kicks him side ahead as Mitsuki goes in to punch a couple other ones. As they go into a bat, as Inko, throws fire at him. Purple fire. As, Missy goes into a couple combinations. And she's like, Jesus, Inko, can you lay off, the death flames? And she's like, what, Missy? It's not like I killed him. I can, if you want. And she's like, no, please don't. People said, people say I'm the hothead of, our little group. if anything, I'm the one that stopped you from being a villain. And she turns off her flames like, I'm not that bad. Inko, you're kind of a bully, a little bit. Yeah, in this little twisted universe I have created, Inko's kind of like, a bully a little bit. And she's like, you need to, what are you even planning to do in the future? As Inko's like, I really don't care. Doesn't really bug me. What about, going to UA? And she's like, why? So I could be, line up with the sheep into the, the whole corporate thing. No, I'm not really into that. And she's like, Inko, I love you as a sister, but with your quirk, you would, you're a shoo-in. And she's like, what about you, Mitsuki? And she's like, oh, I'm kind of, I haven't told my parents yet, but I'm going into, cork laws and defending people from anything to do with quirk on crimes. To defend people that, unjustly, get charged for something. Or defend someone that they know they're innocent. No one too dirty, It's good money for her. She's thinking. And she's like, huh, you a lawyer? I hate to feel sorry for judge. And she's like, what does that mean? As, we're gonna come to where, she comes across the locket for the first time. As Mitsuki's, she's yelling at her. As, because of the comment for the judge thing. As, she sees, something shiny in the pawn shop window. And she's like, hold up, Mitsuki. As she walks in, as, Mitsuki's confused because she's looking at Drolly. As, hi, little miss. What can I do for you today? I saw that in the window, as, it's in the case. Ah, you have a good eye, miss. And she's like, she hands it over to her. It's like, yeah, this is quite, quite detailed for, something that I came across a while ago. As Inko is like, how much? As, Mitsuki's like, I can't believe you're actually buying jewelry. She's like, what do you mean? And she's paying for it, the price. It's quite expensive a little bit, but, she has, a feeling about it. That's Izuku, future Izuku in there, so. As, the bracelet is, not, he's been in there too long, so his physical body is no more, so he has no physical body. So I have an idea. So, So she buys the, necklace that she wears it for, the majority of the high school years. That she always wears it. As we're gonna cut to, in her late 20s. As you see Misky standing, looking across her glass in her office in her law firm, and she's like, Inko, what I'm gonna do with you? The other stuff I got away, I got you off because, technically you didn't do anything, but this is going a little far, don't you think? As he, you see, older Misky and older, in her 20s, Inka. And she's like, what? He deserved it. As, like, you can't go assaulting, heroes. You slugged him in his face. Then proceeded to kick him repeatedly in that face that you just punched. And when, the law enforcement became to cool the area down, you proceeded to kick them in the face several times. And she's like, the heroist, I stopped, I kind of stopped a mugger. And, the hero got upset. I was, apparently doing his job. Apparently he walked past the mugger, didn't do anything. And, he tried to cop the feel. So, I gave him, what he deserves. And she's like, Inko, with attitude, you're never going to find a husband. And she's like, and she starts laughing. And she's like, I can't stand men. And she's like, but you, and I heard a word around the street, you're getting married soon to some square. She's like, he's not some square. This is before Bakugo, was conceived, so I'm not sure, how old both of them are in original, but, that's what I'm saying. As, as she, puts her papers down, Inko, dear, I love you, the sister. Apparently, as, I'm your personal lawyer now, apparently. You, this is going to be a tough case. But if, but if I get you off, this has to stop. You have to, get your shit together and, get your life together. Please. As she pouts. As she's like, fine, Misky. I will assert myself. As she's like, good. Now, you might have to apologize. As she's like, apologize? You serious? As, we go, several years has progressed as, she wears a necklace still. As she was, after, high school and all that stuff, she did, she applied to UA, done the whole UA thing as, a late transfer. As she got into, Class 1A, all that jazz, all that stuff. As, she becomes, a pro. As, we're going to cut to, one of Inko's fights. As, Midoriya is still stuck in the amulet that's under her hero suit. As she, battling a couple of villains. As she going in for quick combinations, as, she blasts them with fire a little bit as they go flying back. As one of them, pulls a gun and shoots, at her. As, it hits the locket, as she, that kind of, took the breath out of her. As several other heroes take them down. As, several, let's just say one of the heroes. Let's just say, Midnight. Yeah, let's just use her as a reference. As you know, she becomes, kind of friends with, Inko a little bit. And she's like, Inko, you right? As she puts the rest of them asleep. And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. And she's like, damn it. I like that locket. As it's cracked. And she's like, guess I'm gonna have to find it, get it repaired somehow. And she's like, I'm more worried about you, than your locket. As they've become close friends. As they hang out a lot together. After she did a couple, she came across her on one of her when she came a pro. As we're gonna cut to a few years in the future. As slowly over the years, the locket has been well getting absorbed into Inko. As he's basically using a magic thing I'm doing. As he's transferring his essence. He's basically being reborn into Inko. So that's how I gotta make this work. He's basically reincarnated in himself into Inko. So that's how that happened. So this is gonna be funny. As over the few weeks, she had she had to take a medical day because she's been feeling ill. As midnight, not midnight, but she went to the doctors. As they're like, Miss Midoriya, guess good news. As she's like, what do you mean good news? I'm throwing up like majority of the morning. It's getting irritating. What is wrong? As don't know how to say this, Miss Midoriya, but congratulations. As the doctor's like, I guess. As she's like, congratulations for what? She's as the nurse is like, you're pregnant. As doctor didn't want to say it. As he has us, breathing heavy for sign of relief. It's like, thank God I didn't have to say it. But and she's like, what do you mean I'm pregnant? And how's that even possible? As she explains, she's never, she doesn't allow men anywhere near her. So, there's that. As she's, explaining that, she doesn't swing for that team. So, she's like, I don't know, Miss Midoriya. But it seems that you're pregnant and I don't really know what to do. So, regrets? As you like, she calls, she's like, you crock. And she storms off. As the doctor's like, yeah, hopefully this doesn't happen again. Maybe something, more in the realms of possibility would be nice. Oh, a gunshot wound. As he goes over off and does that. Yeah, I'm making kind of like an idiot a little bit. As she's, she walks into, breaks into Miss Key's office while she's doing paperwork. She, she's like, you could use the door, right? And it's just, as she's pacing back and forth. Let me pause this for a second. Okay, I'm back. As as Inko's pacing back and forth to her office, as she tosses, the lab results down. And she's like, guess what I found out today, sister? And she's like, Inko, what did you do this time? I thought you were behind this. I didn't do anything. That's the problem. And she's like, okay, calm down. Tell me what's going on. Well, I was, doing my hero work, as you naggingly edged me to do. And I was actually having fun with the job. Then I decided, then I just started, out of nowhere, start getting sick in the morning. And I went to go, to check out, the crock of a doctor to see what's wrong. And she's like, look at it. As, pregnancy, papers. She's like, as Missy's like, so who's the lucky guy? And she's like, that's the problem there, Misky. There's no guy. I haven't been romantic with anyone. Ever. Couple dates with a couple girls, but that's pretty much about it. And she's like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm quite sure. So apparently, babies could magically appear out of nowhere. Apparently, I have a baby me that magically just appeared out of nowhere. It's magic, apparently. As she says it, sarcastically. What I'm going to tell my mom, my dad. Oh, hi, Mom. Sorry we had to fight, but I'm pregnant by out of nowhere. Don't know who the father is. And she's like, Nico, you need to calm down. As she calms down as she takes some medical leave. As Misky tends to her friend. As that goes on, as over the years, little Izuku Midoriya is born, as he has all the memories of his past life, as he knows how powerful he is, but he's still young. So as Inko started slowing down a little bit, surely slow down a little bit from hero work. She still does it. As Misky takes care of, she's looked after, Izuku. He looks like that in the thumbnail. Sorry. As we go to, a few years, a couple years actually, where Izuku's like about 7, as his mother's late from, being hero work. As she sees, he hears noises out, side of the, alleyway between the two houses next to him. They live in a big house, so as he opens the gate, as he sees his mother, beating up a mugger that tried to mug her, as she's like, Mother, do you insist on beating that ruffian, do you insist on beating that ruffian, in public? She's like, and she, looks at her son, and she's like, this doesn't what it looks like. As she punches him a couple times. Really, Mother, it seems that you're overstating your bounds as a hero and beating that man senseless. Yeah, I think he's, kind of done. As the man's been knocked out a while ago. And she's like, Midoriya, can you not tell, Misky about this? I don't want her nagging Aunt Misky. And she's like, of course, Mom. And I'm the child. As, that little boy walks off. And she's like, and she's still getting used to, having a son out of nowhere. So, she was quite cold to him at first, but, she finally, warms up to him eventually. As we cut to, Izuku's, to get him evaluated. As, that goes on, as he shows signs of, he shows signs of the quirk gene because of the, forming inside, using Inko as, the way to get birth and back in the world. So, let's just say he has, he made his powers look like a quirk gene I guess that's how I guess we could do it. To mimic, he modified his body a certain way to mimic the cork gene because he was conscious in the pendant the whole time, so he knows what corks are. So so we're gonna time skip till where he gets his cork evaluated, as they're like, huh? As they're like, ma'am, he has your cork. As you're like, huh? So he has a fine manipulation cork. As he's like, yeah, and something else that I'm not totally sure. As as Izuku, as Inko's like, dear, are you able to do more than the fire? As he's like, oh yeah, you must be talking about this. As Portal starts, oh, like a shadow. He pops his hand to a shadow, into the shadow. Like, a bit of his fingers as, he starts forming, sorry, he doesn't even need the shadow, really. He doesn't need it, so, scratch that. So as, a black orb starts, forming in front of Izuku as he grabs it. As he sucks up, shadows nearby. As, he creates a nifty little, stick out of, shadow. It's like, here, Mom. As she picks it up as she knows it's, kind of heavy a little bit for a kid. And she's like, huh. Then, my theory is right. You have some sort of shadow manipulation. Interesting. As they're thinking it's a half and half cork, but Nico's like, wouldn't it make more sense if it was just, that's a part of his natural cork? Yeah, I think you're right, Miss Midoriya. I don't think it's a half and half cork. It's just, apparently it's neat little, side ability he has for his quirk. As, that happens. As you see, yeah, he's still that age, so, he gets home. As, his mother does some stuff downstairs. Yeah, she heard, a loud bang upstairs. As Izuku's in his, little dragon form. It's only the size of, like, a cat, basically a full-grown cat, as Izuku's like doing his line with all his little action figures, like cowering as he's on the pedestal in his dragon form, as he's like, huh, bow down, humans, to Bahamut, your ruler and your god. I demand diamonds, gold, pearls, and have monuments, carved after my, my awesomeness. As, Inko starts laughing. As, Midoriya's like, you saw nothing. As, she, goes and hugs him. He's like, you're so cute when you're all demanding. As, you're like, you're just like, you're supposed to be, I'm not cute, I'm furious, like, I'm imposing. And she's like, no, you're not. Maybe, when you grow up a little bit, but it's adorable. As, she always makes fun about that over the years. As we get to, the first day of middle school. As, I don't know. I think we're gonna stop it here. Because it takes a lot of memory if I do past 30 minutes. So. Now, I'll put I don't know what to do next, but, I'll make it interesting. So, I'll make it a surprise, whatever. So, hope you guys have a good night and day, judging my time sounds, and I'll probably upload, next part of this, because this is kind of interesting, so I will continue it, because, I don't have to work until Thursday, so I'm good. So, catch you guys later. All right, bye.